after 3 years, here we go. Looks like everything's okay. All the electrical's working okay. Did the wiring and everything seems to work on the wiring. Just getting ready right now. First start and first time this engine's been started probably in about 8 years.
Think it's going to start right up?
I don't know. If it went like the wiring went and a lot of other things, yeah, it should just start right up and start humming. Matter of fact, we could probably take it to the drag strip today.
Okay, when you, prior to starting the engine, you want to prime the engine on most of these, both the small block and the big blocks. Instead, a lot of people just take like a screwdriver rod, stick it down there into the pump and rotate it with electric drill. That's not correct because you're not feeding, it cross feeds to the passenger side through the block and through this little passage in the distributor shaft, the hub of the distributor. So you need a device like this which emulates the distributor that drops in and it seals the passage so it communicates to both sides, and we're pumping oil to both sides of the lifter galley. I generally use a 1/2 inch because it's got more power. What kind of pressure do you have?
About almost 80.
Really? Well, you're going to turn the engine over.
Yeah. Just keep it cranking.
Yeah.
Okay, now?
Yeah.
Oh shit, fuel's going all over. Wow, that is...
Yeah.
We got some carburetor leaks, huh? What do you got to say about them?
You want to hear what I got to say about it?
They probably won't let us put it on YouTube.
Everything was loose on the carburetors now, and they were tight. I mean, they were, as I got them like that, but I thought they were tight, and apparently they weren't. The fuel inlets.
We found top dead center, cylinder number 1. So now we're going to drop this in. Since we've been turning the engine over, when you drop it in, you're going to engage with the cam gear, and it's going to rotate the distributor clockwise before it drops down and engages with the pump drive. Again. There we go. Did you see it on the camera? Did you see it drop all the way down?
Huh?
Good looking valve cover you got there.
Yeah, this is my fabricated startup valve covers. And I hope the hell the tappets aren't going to hit.
RS standard.
And while you're recording there, we should always make sure that we mention after the distributor's put in that you never forget to put the hold down clamp back in place so that the distributor is held in place.
How's it looking there, Mac?
Good. But these older engines with flat tappet cams, especially the high performance cams with an aggressive lobe and heavy springs, they're very critical on lubrication when it first starts. And at idle, you don't get enough splash lubrication up off the crank to properly lube the cam during its initial break-in. So that's why as soon as you fire this engine up, you should never stop it. It should run for about 20-25 minutes at around 2,000, 2,500 RPM continuously, so we make sure that we properly break in the cam lobes and the lifters with proper lubrication.
Here we go. Ready?
Yeah. Learn about the temperature.
It's leaking there.
Huh?
It's leaking now. Water.
Is that any better?
What you saw before, one mistake that we made that you should never do is we left the rags in the front. We were so concerned about the engine that we left some of the rags in front because Jerry didn't want to scratch anything, which is a good idea, but a new engine needs air. In this case, we should have made sure that the rags were out, and we should have rolled it out of the garage so that the inlet to the radiator was faced with the cooler air coming in from the outside. Plus, there's always a lot of smoke when you start up a new engine and you don't asphyxiate yourself inside the garage here, so
Like we did.
that's a mistake we made. So in this case, we only ran about 15 minutes because we didn't want to take a chance of over-temperaturing anything and we shut it down. But in reality, you want to go 20-25 minutes minimum, just to make sure. And also, once you've done the 20 to 25 minute break-in procedure, you should immediately dump the break-in oil out, replace the oil and the oil filter. And it's even a good idea to take the oil filter out and cut it open and spread out the pleated filter element to make sure you don't have any iron debris, metal debris in there. So
The other thing too is make sure before anything, make sure you got all your fluids in, make sure you've got water in the radiator.
yeah.
I think I'm very happy. I mean, we just touched it and it started right up. I couldn't believe it. I mean, it just literally just fired right up from the get-go, thanks to Mac. But I didn't see any leaking or anything, so apparently got it together right. And now it's a matter of just putting little things in like the windshield, convertible top, etc., etc. I'm happy the way it went together. It's been 3 years again, and but everything's gone together pretty well. And one guy I want to talk to, and I want to thank very much, is John Hinckley. He every time I called him, which was about maybe 500-600 times, and I'm very happy with what everybody did. All the guys with the body drop and the body takeoff and stuff.